Alrighty guys, so the beta is going to be coming to an end in about, from when I'm recording this, just under 3 hours, so kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the game itself, as I have played the absolute heck out of it. I've managed to reach level 65. 65 unlocks practically everything that the beta has to offer, in terms of now being able to max level out my character, so I went straight with Hitsugaya, because why not? He was the closest to be completed, even though I should have gone all in on Ichigo. This man could have been juiced up, probably around about 45k. I would have probably ended him up, but either way, I have had an absolute blast playing the game. Now, I'm going to be honest, there's no structure to this on how I'm going to go about tackling this. I'm just going to wing it, give my good thoughts, and then go for the bad thoughts. I think we'll go with that. So overall, how do I feel about the game? I think there's potential behind it. When it comes to with how the game is keeping you occupied, it really is. I mean, first things first, you know, there's a lot of characters to look at, different team building, different typing to actually focus on, because I mean, each character holds value at the minute with how they tend to do their content. So like, obviously Yoruichi, I should have, well, I tried my absolute best to get time for her, but you know, things just didn't work out, especially for the beta ending in about 3 hours time. Managed to get a dupe on her, so I really wanted to kind of see her, but I know that already, that this is still going to be one cracked out DPS for the orange typing, of course. But yeah, character wise and like their movesets and whatnot, well done. Like they've done extremely well. Especially with like the graphic rehaul, gameplay rehaul, and all that good stuff. They've really smashed that out. But in terms of obviously content keeping us occupied, you know, there's a lot that goes into a character that will keep you occupied for a hot minute on a single character alone. When it comes to leveling them up, working on their weapon, going with the gear sets. The gear sets are very simplified, so I actually do love how simple that they make this. I will also say that I do love the fact that they gave you a little bit of a guide ahead of time to kind of be like, right, what team is he best used for when it comes to gears, when it comes to stamp cards and whatnot. If I don't have the characters version, is there any alternative? Yes, there is. So yeah, this is really kind of a helpful guide that's kind of built into the game to help you out in terms of looking into the correct direction that you want to take a specific character. So I actually love that they do that. And as per usual, I mean, we've kind of seen this before, but when you work on your character, you do get a little bit of summoning tickets repaid. I do hope that they change this into currency, so that way we get the choice of doing regular banner or premium banner. That would be pretty cool, but food for thought. Yeah, working on skills. So like I said, when it comes to working on an individual character, you're going to be spending a lot of, well, I say a lot, you know, you probably are going to be spending a lot of time. There is an issue with this, but again, we'll just get through with what I'm enjoying. But anyway, yeah, so working on a character is going to be keeping us occupied, and then that then translates over with all the content that there is. So obviously it is account level based. I don't know if they're going to keep that, but obviously depending on where your account level is, you'll unlock the higher difficulty stages, and then that will then eventually make it so that you can work on your character and progress them even more in terms of level wise. But for the most part, there's a lot to do, boys. There's a lot to do. You know, you've got to make sure you got the currency, make sure you got the leveling up items, make sure you got the weapon leveling up items, make sure you've got the materials to level up your character skills, awakening characters levels and weapons, and engraving or gears, call it what you will, of course. So in terms of what there is for the characters at the very beginning of the game, we are going to be busy, and I mean this might be the most busiest game that I've played in terms of with the amount that we got to do, of course. And then outside of that, of course, you got to farm the passives, oh god, then you got to farm the engraving. So like I said, we are going to be on our toes for a hot minute. This is kind of why I'm just like, you know what, I'm glad that, you know, no multiplayer or co-op, PvP, whatever, all that hasn't been added, because again, just with the content alone and with how busy we're going to be, there's a lot for us to do. You know, story, there's different paths to take with the stories, with the different difficulty. The developers have also spoken about how obviously they do go in depth a little bit more now. So in terms of the storyline, you can get a good feel of it from the game itself. I mean, the cutscenes themselves are fantastic. If they can just polish it up a little bit more, then we've got something cooking right there, of course. So again, obviously this is ultimately more ways of getting some form of currency. So again, that will help us out, especially in a more free-to-play manner. So I would say right now there's a good amount of currency to be gained. I haven't done the full calculations because I don't know what's going to be changing on the full release, because they have nerfed, I'll go over it, but they have nerfed some currency that we can farm out. But boss fights, which are pretty cool. This is kind of like the event section. Of course, there's a little bit of a training guide, but that's kind of self-explanatory. But there's a bit of a event section right here, which is pretty cool. So I believe, I think this changes every week. I think it's like a weekly boss. There is like some leaderboard system for certain events and whatnot, so that will keep people engaged. There's always rewards to be gained, which is pretty nice. So again, more currency to be gained on a weekly basis. Solid. Obviously this will put your mono teams to the test, but good rewards to be gained from here too. This will also give you some bonds to unlock for your characters, so that way you can get some upper hands and buffs and whatnot. So for example, if you need I don't know, a bond that gives you what was it, increasing damage in battlefield skill, you can get that from here, of course. So you know, some good solid rewards to be gained outside of not just getting bonds, but like resources and whatnot. And then of course this mode I absolutely adore. It's one of those modes where you complete the stage, you get your buffs, and you move on to the next stage, of course. So I have been playing the heck out of it. Almost done it. Don't know if, yeah, so obviously as you're going along, you can farm out and collect some levels. Again, more resources to be gained here, so this is pretty nice to have. I'm hoping that they expand it, because I've obviously farmed out a lot. But yeah, there it is. I don't know if it, where is it? No, oh, it's not going to show me, is it? But anyway, yeah, you get the currencies, and then again within the exchange shop you can get some good rewards that can help your account progression as well as your characters. So yeah, solid overall in terms of the content that we have. It will most definitely keep us occupied. And not only that, I will have to give props with how they've done the event. The event for new characters looks, in my opinion, looks really engaging, especially with how they've done Hitsugaya, because you've got an event right here which you can do 3 every day. That's pretty engaging to get some good resources, stamina pills and whatnot, which is really dope. And this will also put you to the test in terms of your skills. This isn't just a game that you can just put that you can autopilot. Doesn't require any skills. No, you know, it does require some form of skills. Outside of that, obviously you've got the doll, the doll, the I can't even speak right now. What is this? A dice. Oh my god. Event, which is again pretty easy to do. But this event right here, where you know you apply the buffs, you go against the enemy, it really puts you to the test, and more so your characters. You're like it's really well done. It's really well done. This event was really engaging. I enjoyed it. I really had fun with it, of course. So already this is a huge W in my books with how engaging new character when they release, how their events come across. If they continue doing stuff like this, yeah, this is definitely something. This is a massive big W in my books, of course. So yeah, the events for new characters is really engaging, so I'm happy about that. You get story to learn a little bit of lore for the characters. They also give you freebies, because obviously with this one they gave Hitsugaya's engraving. So this is one thing which I do hope that they continue on, is that through the characters' events, hopefully make it so that not just the engraving is given out for free, but probably the weapon too. So that way it covers those two, so when we summon for the character, we technically have their full kit, and then those that want to invest a little bit more into the character can do so. So I'm hoping that going forward on a full release, that this is something that they look into, and not just provide the engraving but also the weapon. So that's another improvement that they can make. But overall, really having a good time with the event, of how they've managed to get that done. As per usual, good amount of XP to gain on a daily basis through the dailies. These missions have ended, but I'm hoping that they continue, because this was a very nice way to get good resources, tickets, and yeah, just a high rarity currencies and whatnot. So hopefully they continue that on. I've already spoken about the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is solid. I just need them to make this main reward free to play or something. They just need to make, yeah, well, I get it why they're making it pay to win, because in order to get one of these cards you have to buy the Battle Pass, so there's that incentive. So as much as I would like it to be free to play, I understand why it's got to be on the pay to win side of things. But regardless, the Battle Pass is fairly decent, you know, in terms of like the rewards that you get. Of course, can't go wrong. Guild mode, Yeah, I mean, the guild mode isn't too bad. I mean, realistically, there's not really much going on in the guild mode outside of, you know, you doing your daily contributions, and then obviously having a guild shop, which the guild shop itself isn't anything too crazy. I feel like they need to put a little, well, at the very least, they need to put in tier 2 resources, or as you're leveling up your account, apply the tier 2 and the tier 3 resources, because, yeah, there wasn't really much going on here outside of saving up for the bonds and the tickets. But yeah, you just got your bosses, you do your part for your guild, which obviously I haven't done, but anyway. But yeah, it's very straightforward. I mean, I'm hoping that they do add more, maybe add some form of competitiveness. But right now the guild it's there, but it's fairly dull. But I mean, for right now, I just kind of want it to be just content that I could just kind of dive in, finish, and then move on. Because of course, right now there's a lot to engage with working on the characters. But yeah, I do feel like that with the guild shop, they can probably improve that a little bit more better. But yeah, the guild is there, so that's something that they can just add more onto. Of course, exploration. This is pretty cool. You can explore the areas of that's currently available within the game itself, and gain rewards. So this is actually just a fairly dope thing to kind of look around the map. So this, yeah, that's fairly solid. Summoning side of it, really can't complain. They've improved it heavily, given us some pities. The pities are fairly low too, especially on the weapon and engraving side of it, so I can't complain on that one. So yeah, it's pretty standard with the summoning side of it, with guaranteed at 80 on premium and regular. Even with the regular, of course, the first initial summons are discounted. I think the first multi you do is a guaranteed GSSR, so that's pretty nice. And then once you get to the 300 mark on the regular banner, you can pick one of the SSRs of your choosing as it's going through. But yeah, it's pretty standard. There's nothing too crazy to say about the gacha side of it, but they have improved it and given us pity, so can't go wrong. Also, pity does roll over, by the way. So if I left this at 52 out of 80, let's say, I don't know, Kenpachi dropped, then it will be at 52 out of 80. So that will be, so yeah, rollover pity is confirmed. As you're summoning, you're getting these resources, and obviously they can convert it into character engravings on the standard pool, which is very nice. Or weapon, sorry, these are weapon stamps, my bad. And then of course, if you want to get more tickets, you can do so. And if you're getting the purple versions of them, then again, this correlates into you getting some good resources. And these are the more higher tier resources, so W basically. As you guys can see, I've pretty much bought it all out, so just a few things left. Again, more ways to get gold, which I did utilize at times, and you know, I could do that right now if I wanted to. But there we go, not too shabby on that one. But yeah, the summoning side of it is just fairly simple, and I'm happy with that. And then as per usual, there's missions. You do a certain amount of missions for your account, and then of course you can unlock and get some freebies out there. So yeah, overall not too bad with what they've got so far. I mean, there's also a little bit of a fusion, so you could potentially get, so this is kind of one way on how I got ahead of, you know, getting some high rarity engravings for my character. So yeah, this is a nice little touch to have. But overall, also, I think outside the competitiveness, this is the most that we'll get in terms of if you wanted some form of competitiveness, and it's just kind of working on your character, you know. So yeah, I don't know if people care about battle power leaderboards, but it's there. So yeah, also there's a photo. I didn't really utilize this, but this is pretty cool, little photo mode right here, so you guys can get some good shots. I mean, Byakuya is just across from me, he's just over there, so I can get a good shot of him if I wanted to. But yeah, overall I will say with how the game is, with how engaging it is, they have done well. No, they've done extremely well with how they come about releasing new characters and keeping the game content engaging. That's one thing which some games I'm just like, damn, because I mean, I understand that with certain updates it's just like, alright, we'll drop a new character, and then content wise, what do we do? But yeah, with the events and with all that goes into a character, yeah, definitely going to be engaged for a hot minute, I will say. So yeah, that's pretty much going over the game and how I feel about it. So overall, for the most part, positive. Now, in terms of the negatives, stamina. Now, I think this is a kind of self-explanatory because most games always have this issue, but as we've just gone over, there's a lot that goes into working on characters, right? And so with the amount of stamina that we get, and especially with the amount of stamina pills that we can farm out, of course, well, the whole farming out comes from events that they've added on. Oh, also one thing which I forgot to mention, oh my god, sorry about that. They've also got these events that come about, which is a W, really needed. So like, as you're progressing with your, I think either this is account level or story, I can't remember. You do get resources and whatnot, as you guys can see, so this helps out day one for the game. There's a login reward, so like day one release, I'm expecting some good rewards. Every time a new character drops, you get a free multi, so yeah, this is pretty cool. So, but again, this is pretty much day one. Going forward, they probably won't do this. So, but anyway, just kind of want to also mention that. But through this, there are events that we can utilize, which I think they've taken down because there was a Kenpachi event here, which they've removed now. But through that, we were able to get stamina. Right now with Hitsugai's events, there's also ways to get stamina, but that's through events that they add on. So at the very beginning, it's going to be a rough one. But stamina is a bit of a problem because, again, like I said, there's a lot that goes into investing into a character. And the only annoyance thing is that obviously when you're farming out gears, in order to get the good substats that you're looking for, you're going to have to consistently keep on playing the game. There's no like reroll substats and whatnot, which I hope they add on later on. That's an improvement that they can add, but as of right now, it's just you consistently farming this event, and it's going to take up stamina. And so 40 stamina, it's a lot. It's a lot. So either the cost is dropped, maybe they make it so that the stamina itself can regen twice as fast, or they provide us a good amount of free stamina, or yeah, something needs to be done, because the stamina requirement for this game right now is a lot just for one character alone. So that's one of my pet peeves, which I will say, you know, but stamina is always going to be a bit of an issue for all games. But yeah, I'm hoping that they can look into that, of course. So that's one of my pet. I was going to mention engraving, but I pretty much brought that in with the stamina issue. So yeah, when it comes to gearing up, hopefully they add some form of substats roll and whatnot, because again, it can get super annoying if you've got the perfect gear, level it up, and then it gives the level to the wrong substat. It can be super annoying. So yeah, that's kind of, again, something to look into. A huge thank you to Bleach Soul Reasonance news page, because they've kind of seen the nerfs that has been made through the currency side of it. So before, just to let you guys know, this was the pass. I think this was the previous beta. And the way this pass looks is, obviously, you get 90 regular jades. These are the paid jades, of course. And then you get a stamina. And this is one every day, right? This is amazing. And it seems that the developers were like, whoa, this is too good for the price. So let's kind of nerf it. So this has been nerfed drastically. Like, disgustingly. Honestly, this would have been a huge W if they would have kept it. And would have kind of, in a way, wouldn't still nullified with what I've said previously, but it would have helped out a lot with how the game is right now. So, because you can use these to kind of get some packs to kind of help you out. So this is a big L. I'm hoping that they revert back to how it was before, because this alone just helps everyone out tremendous. It's not even like it's a massive amount of help. It's just because you only get the 300, and then everything else goes towards the regular jades. So yeah, that's something. Exploration jades have been toned down by half, as you guys can see, so that's unfortunate, but there we go. When it comes to the tower mode, thankfully, oh wait, yeah, they nerfed it, didn't they? Yeah, okay, so before it was 50, they cut it down by 20 to 220, not by 20, 220. The login rewards, so this isn't anything too bad, because the way that they're doing it is these premium character tickets are going towards when a new character releases. So we're benefiting from getting the regular stuff right here, and then when a new character drops, they will then implement the premium banner content. So there's that. Unless this was an additional 10, which I was aware of, which I was unaware of. But either way, yeah, it's added through when a new character drops. Weekly missions have been removed, which is unfortunate, because these are the materials that I low-key kind of want, but I wouldn't say it's a drastic change of them removing it, because we can still farm out a decent amount, because I'm still farming out with the events and whatnot, with how we other ways of gaining these resources. So, but still, I wouldn't mind having weekly missions applied to farm out XP and additional resources and whatnot. I think that's something that they can look into, of course. And then when it comes to, oh yeah, this isn't exactly a bit of a, no, this isn't a knock, but it can get, actually no, it is pretty, okay, yeah, I'll mention it. So in order to get your engraving to 6-star, it will require this material right here. As it stands right now, there's no other way to farm it out outside of utilizing the exchange shop in a free-to-play manner on, where is it? Is it down here? Oh god, it's somewhere here, boys. Here, yeah. So you can only get 30, which is the total amount that you need to get a one complete engraving set done. I believe this resets every week or so. But the cost of it for these is a lot. It really is. And as of right now, there's no other way to obtain it outside of buying packs. So I don't know if they should make it so that there's a more difficulty stage on the engraving fight, and that way there's a chance for maybe one to drop. So again, it's coming back to it, farming it out and whatnot, but it's done in a free-to-play manner, and then having this as an alternative choice. So that way we can work on multiple characters and not just one set of one character, you know. So yeah, that's just something else that I thought I'd bring up. So yeah, that again, nerfs being made on Spirit Jades and whatnot, so those hopefully can be looked into and revert back to, because I don't think there was any need for them to do all of that, in my personal opinion. Now, in terms of gameplay, I'll just quickly hop into a game right now, and I understand that some people have mentioned to say that I'm kind of 50-50 on it, because at the same time I don't mind, but then again it's just like I kind of see why people want it now. And that is that the gameplay itself can get a little bit stale, purely because there's only a set amount of moves a character can do so far, and I don't know why it's so slow for me, what the hell. I have played in other games, like fighting games like these, of course, and obviously the amount of movesets that an individual character has is like 20 plus, 10 plus and whatnot. Right now with Bleach Soul Resonance, it's pretty limited, and obviously that's one of the pet peeves that I've heard for the most part, being like, they've got to add more for the characters. You know, it's just consistently doing the same thing over and over again. I feel like with the team comp, the combination, and the skill play that comes into it, I think right now that's pretty engaging. In terms of applying more to the character, I think that's going to be added on as we go on. This is something that I've mentioned before, and this is something that most developers have done. Like I said, with games that I've played very similar to Bleach Soul Resonance, it's that they kind of start it off basic-wise, get us understanding the core mechanic, and then as time goes on, they'll make it more engaging with characters releasing that are a little bit more in depth. Because just to give you guys an example, One Piece Fighting Path dropped Blackbeard, who I think within his moveset alone had like 23 moves, right? That is overwhelming as hell, especially when a game has just come out. I understand that people want the gameplay to be a little bit more engaging for the characters, and for the most part it is. It comes down to the team comp, how you utilize the team, what buffs you apply, your battlefield skills, when you apply the ultimate, the Bankai, when all there's a lot to go into it. So I think it's fair that the developers have kind of made it very limited in what we do, just so we can understand everything. And then once we are pretty much at a point where right, we get the game, we know how it works, then the developers could be like, right, let's start releasing characters, get it a little bit more in depth, get it a little bit more engaging. Again, it's also long-term content. That's one way to look at it too, you know. So yeah, again, I'm 50-50 on the whole character skills, how some people want a lot of it, and I'm just like, nah, for right now let's keep it how it is, and then as time goes on we can build up on that. So that's my thoughts on that. But I think for the most part, I'm not going to really talk about online play, because again, with all that there is to do for the game right now, I think it's more than enough. Online play can come down the line. It's not a priority right now, so I'm not really going to go too crazy on that one. There is a training area for your character, so you can go into, learn some combinations, team comps and whatnot, so that's nothing too crazy. But I think for the most part I've spoken about everything that I need to, and yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say. I don't think I'm missing out anything. Again, I'm not really going to go over gachas. It's more so on a positive than there is negatives. So yeah, gacha system is pretty solid, ready to rock and roll in my opinion. But I think overall, ladies and gentlemen, that's my final thoughts. I mean, I will say getting to level 65 to unlock everything is a bit of a pretty annoying, but at the same time it gives you that breathing room to kind of work on your characters to get them to the next stage. And then while you're doing that, you're actually leveling up to the, I don't know, it could be seen either way on how you guys feel about account level affecting the progression of what you unlock. So I would much rather just it be kind of lowered a little bit, but I get it if some people want to kind of keep at 65. So again, that's more on a 50-50. I'm not bothered if they keep it at level 65, but I wouldn't mind it being lowered a little bit so that way I can just get on with shit. But that's just my thoughts and opinions on that. But okay, I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I spoke about. But for right now, with how the game is and how the game will be upon release, it looks to be engaging. There's a few things that just need to be slightly touched up on, overhauled a little bit, finalized, and I think we are on to an absolute banger of a game. But yeah, I don't think I missed out on anything. I'm literally just trying to stall right now just to think, did I miss out on anything? That's just an encyclopedia, friends, the bag. Okay, yeah, I don't think I missed out on anything. Okay, I think that's it, boys. I think that's my final thoughts on this game. But I will say there is a lot of potential behind this game. A lot of potential. I know that Bleach Brave Souls is kicking ass, chewing bubblegum with their 10-year anniversary, which looks absolutely amazing. That game ain't going anywhere. I'm telling you right now. So if the developers do things right, and it seems that they are heavily listening to the player base, because after this beta ends, there's going to be another developer talk about what they're going to be doing and whatnot. So it seems that they are listening to the player base, which is fantastic. So yeah, if they can make some key changes for this game itself, then we might be onto something here.